A scathing new report from the Senate questions the quality of care for our veterans. It centers on Dr. David Houlihan, former chief of staff at the VA Medical Center in Tomah, Wisconsin. He was known by veterans as the Candy Man for his alleged willingness to dole out painkillers. And that Senate report hits the actual Inspector General the hardest. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson, chairman of Homeland Security and Government Relations Committee, which released that report, my guest now today. And Senator, welcome back here. What did you conclude after this investigation as to what the veterans were missing or not getting?
Well, good morning, Bill. Well, it's interesting. As far back as 2004, they were calling Dr. Houlihan the Candyman. As far back as 2008, 2009, there were a number of people trying to raise the alarm, raising the issue with different departments and agencies and offices within the federal government, and nobody paid attention. They all turned a deaf ear to it. So what we've basically found out is what you need to solve these problems in your bureaucracies, you need total transparency, you need an independent Office of Inspector General. And what happened over time with an acting Inspector General, Richard Griffin, he'd been captured by the agency. Instead of being loyal to the finest among us, our veterans, and to the American people, he lost his sense of mission, and he was loyal to the agency, and he's protecting him. He covered up more than 140 reports on different investigations and inspections, including the one at Tomah, and had those reports been made public, some of these tragedies would have been prevented. I talked to Candace Dellis, who is the daughter of Thomas Baer, who died on January 12th of 2015, basically of neglect. He suffered a stroke waiting for a couple hours. She told me, Senator, had I known about these problems in Tomah, I never would have taken my father there. And she came from Marshfield, Wisconsin, has world-class private sector health care system. So it's about transparency, independence of the watchdog of every federal government agency, but particularly the Veterans Administration. So I guess, I've assumed the role of being the watchdog over the watchdog.
The VA secretary says he can't fire anybody. Others contend this is what happens when you see government-run health care. Do you agree with that, or is this exclusive to the VA itself?
Well, first of all, people have been held accountable. Because of publicity, because of our investigation, our pressure, Dr. Houlihan and his nurse practitioner are gone. So is the executive director that turned a blind eye, and Richard Griffin, I think, retired under pressure. So people have been held accountable. But, Bill, I introduced a bill on, for accountability at the Veterans Administration, at the Veterans, the Committee on Veterans Affairs, and the VA was resistant to it. So they didn't want the authority to be able to terminate people. So, we have to bring greater accountability. We need a completely independent and transparent Office of Inspector General, and we need a VA that's willing to actually have the tools to terminate people, to discipline the bad actors within the system. But I also have to say, the vast majority of doctors, nurses, people caring for people in VA Healthcare Center are doing a great job. And I talk to vets all the time as I tour the facilities. I was just in Tomah. They love the facility. They love the health care. So it's really a mixed bag, but it's about holding the bad actors accountable and transparency.
I'm glad you said that last part. Last question quickly. Does this report make things better for the veterans? Yes or no, Senator?
Yes, because it's going to be holding people accountable, and it's going to be showing that the new Inspector General, who I actually asked for unanimous consent to be confirmed on the floor of the Senate about a month ago, I'm sure Mike Missel is going to be independent and transparent, or at least he knows that I'm going to make sure that he is. So I'm going to be the watchdog over the watchdog, and that actually will help our vets.
Thank you, Senator, Republican from Wisconsin.